So actually, I went up on Tuesday Central to go to a book signing with Frank Warren, who started the Post Secret Project. If you don't know, Post Secret is like a collaborative modern art thing. At least that's what it's become. It started with him, and one day he decided to take blank postcards around the streets of Washington, D.C., and put his home address on them and asked people to share their secrets with him and send them anonymously to his house. And then he posted them on a blog weekly. Eventually, it really turned off and it's become this huge, like, nationwide thing. And eventually, HarperCollins came to him and asked him to publish like book archives of them. What you get is people's secrets sent anonymously, and you get a whole range of like everything. It's a complete range of human emotion and human experience documented anonymously on this website. So he talked a lot about the idea of secrets and intimacy and how they really go hand in hand. And he said in one thing that the Hebrew word for secret is to come closer together, which I think is really interesting because I like languages. Um, but it made me think of a couple of things. One thing that it made me think of is a few nights before you and I were hanging out and we were with other people, but between the two of us, like looks and glances and like small fragmented sentences, they really mean a lot. And I guess they're not necessarily secrets, but it's this shared experience that we have and this shared like mindset about things that I don't know, like there's an intimacy in that, like not to get all weird on you. The other thing it made me think about was this quote by F. Scott Fitzgerald, um, which is, "That is part of the beauty of literature. You discover that your longings are universal longings and that you're not isolated anymore, that you belong." I think that that was sort of one of the purposes and the achievements of this project, this Post Secret, which then became literature by being books, um, was to give people a sense of belonging and a sense of the fact that they weren't alone. At the end of the evening, he had people come up and share their secrets. And he's like, if you're hesitant, just remember that there's probably at least one other person in this auditorium who has the same secret you do or something similar. And I think it opens up an interesting question. Again, something that gets joked about a lot is like I get more upset about fictional characters than I do about real people, within like fan communities. And I mean, that's true, but it's just because we feel more intimately with fictional characters than we do in the people in our own lives. And, you know, by people opening up through this kind of medium, even though it's anonymous, they're letting people into themselves in a way that's more like a fictional character. Um, and I guess the question is, does that make them more real? I think I just opened up something I wasn't planning on. I mean, more real is kind of a strange thing to say, but I mean, that's kind of the thing about literature and fiction is that it does seem more real and more intimate to us than a lot of the things in real life. And I think that's the draw, and that's why we feel like we're not alone from it. Even though, I mean, there's something to be said for if an author is writing something, then in a way they're feeling it, and then you're not alone because you're linked to that real person somewhere on the other end of this book. I don't know. It's all very interesting. And I guess the lesson that could be taken from this, if you're looking for one, is, that the people with these secrets are really no different than people in our real lives. And, everyone has stuff they're hiding, and everyone has 1,000 things that you don't know about them, even if it's not technically a secret. Everyone really is as interesting as a fictional character. Maybe they're not being chased by orcs, or not a chosen one, or not, some other big fancy way. But the things that they're feeling and thinking, and the things that make you feel like they're connected to them, are the same things that are happening all around you in reality. So, I don't know. Something to think about.